Libra, the offer has not changed. You have. Are you able to see the forest through the trees? Or have you lost your way? Let's do it. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. So hello, Libra, my Libra friends and friends of Libra. It's good to see you guys again. Come on in. Come on. Let's do another message here for you. I have some messages that came through in meditation, and we'll get into oracle cards and the tarot as we do. So Libra, the first thing that came through here was this is justice. So what I get from this is I'm being shown this is justice, what justice is here. And we did have a sacred symbol or a set of symbols that came through here. I'll show you here in a second to be able to use if you'd like to at your leisure. So this is justice. Do you want to get into? Hold up. Okay, so we'll do it in a second. All right. Normally we like to do it first, but sounds good. So the next thing that I was shown here, or it was actually smell that came through. Movie theater popcorn with extra butter. Something that was very potent, actually. So what I got from this was either this is a message for somebody in particular regarding heads up, like pay attention to this extra. Maybe you just recently went to the movies. Maybe you're just a huge fan of movie theater popcorn and partially hydrogenated soybean oils, right? That tastes like butter. One of my favorites, I know. But what I got from this was, well, I asked a treat, like, is this a treat? I know for me, like my system can't handle that stuff very well anymore. So it would have to be a treat, but it's certainly something that I still enjoy, right? That smell, who doesn't love the smell of popcorn when you're coming into a movie theater? I mean, maybe someone, but the next thing that came through was encouragement from beyond. So this also felt like a message from maybe a family member, ancestor, someone that you know, though, where you have a memory of maybe going to the movies, somebody who's reaching out here that's passed to add a layer of comfort to this message. Okay. So the next thing I was shown here was an open clam or a clam opening. It was actually to the side, like being displayed like if it were in a painting or something like that. And there was a pearl in the middle of it, and this was a light blue. The pearl was a light blue color. I feel like even as I'm talking about, that's actually kind of turning into a little bit of a darker blue. So that's interesting. Something changing, like an oxidizing process. Oh, the symbol. Okay. Okay. So we'll get into the symbol. That's fine. Thank you. So they want to move into the symbol now. So this makes sense because it's the point of this symbol is to help adjust your lessons and processes of karma. So let's get into this. I love that this came through. I'm excited to use this myself as well. So this one, I'm going to show the camera here. Feel free to pause it so you can draw it out. This one is Karma's Blueprint. So Karma's Blueprint. What do we do with this, you ask? Well, let me tell you, Libra. So I was told you're going to draw this out. You're going to place this above an archway if you have an archway in your home, or a main door or transition space inside of your home. So this doesn't, so like the front door, you could do the back door. I feel the front door is going to be more preferable if you don't have an archway, or like a transition into a living room, that sort of thing. Something like that. Use your discretion, okay? Something above a door. If you don't have any of those things, I would recommend your bedroom. On the outside, okay, outside of the bedroom, not the inside. Okay, thank you. I was also told here to leave this up for a complete lunar cycle, so 28 days. And then I was given instructions for full moon to full moon or new moon to new moon. So if you want to use this full moon to full moon, what this does is speed up the lessons or processing of your own karma here. And karma is not, I mean, you guys are Libra, justice card. Karma is a part of that. Karma is cause and effect. Karma's not personal. Karma's not a bitch and, you're going to get your karma. That's not what karma's about. You kick a wall, there's a hole in the wall now and your foot hurts. This is karma. So the point of this is to give you a little bit more control over hastening or slowing, getting through this here. So new moon to new moon, this allows you to slow down the lessons and the clearing of karma. The The point of this is so that you have a little bit more of an experience in the driver's seat. That we have to process through our cause and effect in this world, past lives, future lives, etc. It all has to be cleared personally and collectively. But this is allowing us to adjust this personally, okay, you guys, not collectively. So this, I was told after this too, this is only to be used for your own karma. This is a warning. Do not abuse this blueprint of law. You have been warned. Okay. Oof. And I get chills on that even. Ooh. I mean, do what you're gonna do, but y'all, I do not use this for somebody else's karma or for collective karma. Okay. This is just for you. All right. Okay, so let's move forward here. The next thing that I was given was arch nemesis, and then shadow boxing is what came up. Shadow boxing your other half here. The way I take this is there's some sort of experience. This could be a karmic lesson we're learning right now. This doesn't feel like it's a literal person here. It feels more like an archetype or experience inside of ourselves. But we're trying to fight that off, as in like, as an example, some people, demons, blah, I don't know. There's this idea of like God and Satan and angels and demons, and there's this constant good against evil war. That is not the way that I see what this life is all about. Are there good things and bad things? Of course there are, yes. But the light and dark, or light and shadow, light and dark are not good and evil. Good and evil exist in both the light and shadow. This feels like something where there is a preconceived notion, like you're seeing something come out of the dark, and the automatic response here is to fight it. The problem with this is a part of you, and you're not seeing that it's a part of you. So you're treating it as if it's an arch nemesis. All right. Let's get further into this. The next thing that I was shown was a DNA strand, and then I was told that the DNA is the key, like DNA key. The helix is more than a 3D experience. And then I was told, so what I'm seeing is that helix we can see in double helix for DNA existing here in the third dimension, but it also exists in other dimensions that we cannot perceive here in the third, right? So it's a much bigger organism than just what it is that we see here. Interesting. And then that's where I was told, use the blueprint in order to, this is what's allowing you to access those other components of that DNA key. Cool. All right, so let's get into this a little bit further, you guys. I'll show you the oracle cards here. Wild Unknown archetype deck, and thank you for your patience. I'm certainly feeling this Mercury retrograde, and been dealing with some of my own health stuff too, so I appreciate your patience as I'm getting back on track here. 3 came out. So to start, we got the Forest, the Shapeshifter, and then also the Offering. So you can probably see here where I got that intro with the Forest, the Shapeshifter, and the Offering here. The offer here hasn't changed immediately as these came out. This is what I was told. Whatever this is that's being offered, that's not changed. This feels like it's a part of the human experience that we're talking about offer-wise. We'll get into it a little bit further. But with the Shapeshifter coming through, this is where something is not as it seems. That Shapeshifter energy, that shadow that's coming forward here where we're participating in shadow boxing, something is showing up not quite as it seems. So that's kind of where I'm getting that part of the message too. And then here with the Forest, are we seeing are we seeing an entire experience here, or are we stuck on one component? Interesting. What I'm getting is like, what I'm seeing is yelling at a tree, yelling at a tree because it's not the experience of the forest. Interesting. Like we show up to a national forest or something like that, and we can't see the beauty of the entire thing, so we take it out on the tree that's nearest us. And even as I'm saying that out loud, that sounds very connected to like human connection, right? Interesting. So another actually very interesting part of this, I just did Virgo a few days ago too, and a part that came out in there was on the heels of justice. And I got this message that there was something very specifically coming forward with Scorpio's reading and after Scorpio's reading. So you are justice, Libra's justice. It feels like all 3 of these readings are very connected. And I've never really had that kind of thread come through before, but I don't know, Spirit knows that I like a good chase, I guess. So let's do this. Let's get into it a little further. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck here. Can we get some more general energy, please, for this message for Libra? What else does Libra need to know? The fish. Le poisson. Steve, le poisson Steve. Poisson Steve. So the fish is bringing me back to Pisces energy right now because we are in Pisces North Node, working to go with the flow, to determine what is the right flow for us to go with, to understand that once we get on this water slide, we get to choose maybe where we're entering and have a general idea of where it is that we're going, but we don't control all those twists and turns. We're surrendering to the ride. We're ready for the ride. This is a reminder that that's what's going on right now. There is some control. Oh, okay, Karma's Blueprint. You get to decide. I'm seeing like red, yellow, green. You get to decide the difficulty of the water slide, the speed in which it is that you are processing and clearing karma. Totally. I love that. Love that journey for you, Libra. What is blocked here, please, for Libra? What is blocked? I was hearing tear ducts, actually. Somebody's tear ducts are blocked. I don't know. Maybe you have punctal plugs. I don't know. Black egg is what's blocked here. This is the throat chakra, your voice. There's something that needs to be spoken or said. I feel like this has to do with the offer, and we did end up on the owl here on the bottom too. This is like a treasure. It can be a reward of sorts for having wisdom. As you're coming to these water slides here, this feels like this is not the first time that you've ridden these water slides. Like you know where they're going. Maybe you don't know which one you want to experience. There's an amnesia. You hit your head. Oh, maybe you actually hit your head. Interesting. Like you've forgotten the path. I mean, this could be talking about this process of like every time we come down here too, reincarnation. Okay. But there's something that's being missed as far as expression goes. Okay, what does Libra need? What does Libra need? Cobra. Tarantula here at the bottom too. So both of these cards, there's a component of like waiting. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. Knowing when to strike. This feels very connected to whatever the offer is. Okay, let's get into this a little bit further. Do we want any other oracle cards? No. Okay, which tarot? Start with the Murder of Crows. Yes. So for Libra here, let's find out your hopes and dreams to start, what you're hoping for right now. 10 of Cups. Love, connection, community, divine connection. I'm getting like a remembrance. There's a hope or desire to remember your previous experiences or where you've come from. Interesting. And this does feel, because there's this like triad of connections in these readings here, this does feel very much like a collective experience that we're having. We're all hoping to remember. I feel very strongly this cycle that we're in here right now. It's certainly not the first time. We've seen it even in our current human history, but even in human history outside of what we have recorded, like ancient civilizations that, I don't know, were wiped away by the Younger Dryas, right? Things like that. Like there's something that we've been repeating, and we get to this point where I don't know. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. Is like we're hoping to remember, what is that step that we're missing or that I'm missing here? I need to take advantage of. Which other deck? You want Phantasma? I want to do Catacorn. Okay, we'll do Phantasma. All right. So for Libra here, we'll do fears. Your fear aversion at this time. That's funny. Okay. 9 of Cups here at the bottom on this one. This is more of like your personal satisfaction. I do feel there are sirens going off here right now. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that, but So I was going to say with the Nine of Cups, this is like a personal remembrance. There's a little bit of an aversion to remembering individually, but more of a desire to connect collectively. Both are important. What came through here, though, is the Hanged Man as your fear aversion. This is a delay. This is a pause. This is a need to see something differently. What I get from this message so far here with the hope and the fear is there's that desire to remember. What am I doing here? Like, I know there are a lot of people that have this feeling that time's running out. And I feel like to a degree, there is some truth to, there's a timer of sorts that's running down. And what I feel into that is that there is an opportunity to break past where we have, maybe it's about breaking through the wheel of samsara, of karma, since this symbol that came through here is about karma. But there's something that we're like misconstruing, like we're reaching over here. I'm seeing like a mirror, but the object's actually back here. And there's an aversion to actually turning to where the truth is, because we're being asked to see something. And there's like a sun and a moon there. We're being asked to see something while we're in this hangout mode, but we're not liking it. Okay. Let's move forward here. I want to know. Should we get into, I want to know, can you give me a card here on the offering? I want a little bit more specific on what the offer is. 7 of Cups. 6 of Cups here too at the bottom. When this card comes through in particular, in this deck, there's a cup in the back, in the mirror. Oh my God, exactly what I was just saying. It's like we're looking over here, but it's actually back here. I just said that. Okay, so I take that as validation there. This offering, 7 of Cups. So 7 of Cups is like many choices, being spoiled for choice and possibly frozen. It can also be delulunation. I feel like there is a little bit of that. There's a lot of fear and violence happening right now in our world. And I feel it's very easy to search for the answer or support or comfort, things like this, in where it is that maybe we're told to find those things, right? I'm getting that maybe it doesn't exist in where it is that we've been told to seek it. Interesting. Okay, all right, let's get into this a little bit further. So the offer here, I feel, we'll finish that up. These crows here on the back are what are standing out to me. This person is facing a shade, a shadow. Here's your shadow figure, you guys. Oh my God. My brain hurts today. I'm with it though, I promise. Shadow boxing, you guys. This is exactly what this is. So this offer hasn't changed. This part of you hasn't ever changed. What's changed is you and your perception of it. Okay, let's get into this a little bit further. More general energy to support this message, please, for Libra. Ooh, it came flying out. 3 of Swords. Heartbreak, loss, pain, stormy emotions. I feel like this is an opportunity to make something right with the self, to heal some sort of pain. Heal what has been hurt. Change the fate's design. Make the clock reverse. Bring back what once was mine. My goodness, there is a lot of like past stuff coming through here. What once was mine. This could be, if this is a person or relationship, this doesn't feel as much like a partner in this lifetime. It feels like something that you're searching, like your soul is searching for, this comfort. That je ne sais quoi, you just can't quite put your finger on why, who, what, where, when, why, and how it is that you want or need something. Okay. This is getting interesting, you guys. Love this. What else here, please, on the 3 of Swords with the general? 3 of Cups, too. This kind of feels like, look on the bottom, the star. There's a star. Here's your renewed hope after difficulty. Whatever the tower moment is that preceded that star, which, I mean, we can look around and see many towers are happening right now. There's something that keeps coming through here, though, that's connected to the past. And this feels like beyond our written history. Something that is beyond, like Younger Dryas is something, the Great Flood, that is standing out to me here. Okay, cool. But with Three of Cups, what comes to mind for me to start is a third party, something getting in the way of, if this is a relationship to another person, third party, something that was intervening in a way that it shouldn't have been. I'm getting, though, what is this that's interrupting this? Life. What? What the hell? Okay. Like life? Like all of life. Interesting. What is going on here, Spirit? What are you doing? Where are you taking me? Let's see. Anything else here on this? What I'm getting is like this experience as a human to be in life is the third party. Okay. Realignment. Shift your perspective for a gained sense of clarity. I feel this is connected to that fear of the hanged man, seeing something for what it is or allowing yourself to see something differently. It kind of feels like whoever it is that I'm speaking to here, there's an experience of like, I do believe that we choose to come here. And there are components we get to choose, that sort of thing. This kind of feels like this was not a choice. And this isn't a galactic royalty reading, but it's drawing me back to that first galactic royalty reading that I did. I'll try to remember to post it on here if you guys want to watch it. But it was that idea, like it was a choice to come here, but it's not quite the same. Almost like, I don't want to say imprisonment, but like a holding. Interesting. This is not where I thought this was going to go. I didn't know where this was going to go, but I didn't think, okay, cool. And leap of faith. Okay, taking a risk, stepping into the beauty of the unknown. I feel like, although this may not have been completely your choice to experience this life and in this way, there is a request here, though, to like make the most of it, so to speak. Shifting your perspective for gained sense of clarity. Even through chaos, there are things that we can glean and learn. It may not have come to us with the intention of being a lesson, but there's something that we can learn in everything we experience. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. Okay. Good stuff. Let's look at the positive of this. What's going on here? What's good about this? Nine of Swords. Okay. Yeah, here's the Ace of Cups too. That one that was in the background of the Six of Cups in the mirror. This is a relationship, an Ace of Cups. Relationship to spirit, a new opportunity to connect emotionally or spiritually. But Nine of Swords here, being in your good stuff. So I see this as an ability to end the nightmare. Maybe we are talking about karma, you guys. And like I said, karma's not personal. It's just like a tally of energies. Everything demands balance. Everything will come into balance at some point. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Whether that's within our ability to perceive it in our own lifetime or in the greater timeline of everything that is. There certainly is a greater intelligence attached to that greater timeline, right? And it ain't us. We're here, spit in a pan. Spit in a pan? What is that? Flash in a pan. Spit. I'm seeing like water, like you would splash water on and it like just sizzles up. Interesting. Okay. So an opportunity to end the nightmare. To wake up from this nightmare, to wake up from the dream, being stuck in the dream. The Fool, perfect. Leap of faith. Starting a new journey. So being in your good stuff here. Courage and faith is something that really does stand out to me. If you do choose to use this symbol, whether you speed up or slow down, this is depending on what it is you need right now. And the point is to help make things a little bit more tolerable or comfortable so that you can run this marathon, right? This is being recharged for you here, faith-wise. And like I was saying in the beginning, like where we're told to find comfort or this or that. Like there's something that's just not quite right about that. But what I feel from this with the Nine of Swords and the Fool is we're talking about, like, we're breaking through that illusion, or we're finally seeing the truth on something. Okay. You don't want this one? Which deck? Oh, Citadel. Okay. What else here, please, in the good stuff? For Libra. Come both? Top. The pathless. Oh my gosh. Difficult decisions and lack of direction. So I feel also here that connects to what I was saying there too, like feeling lost. Like we're told, as an example, seek God or Jesus or Allah or Buddha or Krishna or Source or whatever you want to call that energy. I'm not saying any of that's wrong. At the same time, I'm just telling you what message is coming through. There's something about the way that we've been doing things, and we're told this is the way it is, this is the way it should be. I don't know. This is ancient knowledge, so this is how it should be. I know that we don't have the full picture of ancient knowledge. That's pretty much all been washed away, or is probably buried somewhere we haven't dug up yet, right? That's what I'm saying. Like there's some sort of piece of information that we're not being given. And I mean, we know that's true a lot of the times with all sorts of powers that be, powers on the way out. I'll put it that way. So being in the good stuff here, this hand, this golden hand that's reaching down here, I feel like there's some assistance coming forward. Now this deck. Okay. Last piece here on the good stuff for Libra. Assistance coming forward. What else here, please? On the good stuff. Declutter. Let go of old items, create a new sacred space for yourself. As I was reading that, what I saw was to create a new story for yourself. So this doesn't have to be physical items. Maybe there is a need to release for peace, peace and contentment coming to you. To release in order to create a new sacred space for yourself. This feels more like energetic and story-wise, like I said. To release a story. An attachment to dogma, right? Any dogma. I understand that it's because there's a huge population here and the way that humans work, we do need guidance, you know. But the way that the world has become right now, so dogmatic, it can be and is, we see all of the time, dangerous. If people can't think for themselves, where are we? If people can't remember their sovereignty, where are we? Oh my gosh, that's what we're talking about, of course. This is the nightmare that we're waking up from. Someone has forgotten their power. And I'm not talking about power to hurt people. We're talking about sovereignty, where you end and where somebody else begins. Gosh, okay, let's get into this a little further. What we don't see that in the dark here, what's coming forward that we may not expect. For Libra, please. Ooh. Five of Swords. We have the Magician here on the bottom, too. This is our ability to manifest. Being here on the bottom in this position, I feel there is a part where we do need to remember that we have what we need to create. That sovereignty. We already came here as a whole ass being. I'm back to these water slides again. Like this, we've done this many times, but every time we come back around, we bump our head and forget our sovereignty. Okay. Five of Swords, what we don't see coming. This is conflict. And I do take this as conflict in this situation. This is fighting for the sake of fighting, though. Nobody wins in this situation. There is no desire to understand or to grow or learn. It's just bloodshed. It's fighting for the sake of fighting. There's something about this person as they're watching the crows, like the crows are fighting it out and they're leaning on their sword here. Almost looking behind them. Again, there's something about the past, you guys. So there's power in this sword. And when swords show up in the tarot completely vertical like that, it symbolizes logic or not being affected by emotion or intuition. So there's something very clearly being spoken here about paying attention to where we've been, knowing our history or herstory, right? Okay, what else here, please? Why is the why is the Five of Swords here? Too many reasons. Fair enough. Why is the Five of Swords here, please? Ooh, High Priestess. Secrets, hidden knowledge, you guys. Something coming up from the subconscious or the realm of the shadow. The shadow figure again. With the Seven of Cups, as far as the offering goes, this component feels like maybe a part of you that is not possible to incarnate here. Because, I mean, we as an energetic experience, none of us can fully incarnate here. But there's something about like that piece is coming forward to give you a message, and it comes through the shadow, the High Priestess, because the shadow is what's unknown. The shadow is the unseen realm. It's not evil. Good and evil exist in both the light and the shadow. We can see evil, and we can see that we don't see evil sometimes too. Same goes for good. This feels like a messenger coming through. This offer is an offer of remembrance. And that karma's blueprint is coming through here to help you fast forward or rewind or pause this process that you're in right now so that you can get a better view of or hear more clearly what this message is. My goodness, this is an interesting one. Okay. What else here, please, on what's in the shadow or what we don't see coming? Happiness. Ooh, I love that. And apology, forgiveness through mutual understandings. Okay. Happiness, new discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. A reunion. I don't feel like this is like a physical relationship. Like I said, could be, for some of you, but this feels much bigger than that. If it is a partner in some way, this feels like a disincarnate partner, someone who hasn't incarnated here. Everyone's partner? What does that mean? I'm being pulled into my heart space, but the face, we didn't have despicable face, but there is this kind of like mask energy. Like it can change its face, but it's the same energy. What is this? This is justice. Okay. Oh my gosh. I got all the chills on that. Okay. All right. Well, let's finish this up here, you guys. Very interesting. Like I said, this is a trilogy, apparently. I'm excited to get into Scorpio's message here too. Okay. What is the challenge here right now, please, for Libra? King of Swords. 10 of Swords here at the bottom too. That imprisonment I was talking about is, I mean, we're all imprisoned in these sweaty meat sacks full of farts, right? Getting stuck, like without the ability to move from wherever the pain is. But we're being shown that we do have that ability to move from it. There's just this experience. I mean, that could totally be connected to, yeah. With what I was saying about what we've been told, this is how you should pray. This is how you should, this is how you talk to spirit or this or that or whatever. There's something about all of that that's a bunch of bullshit is what I'm feeling. Not that all of it is. The part that's really standing out to me is your sovereignty. We're here to remember a lot of things, and one of them is who the fuck we are. Okay? So if you're in a place where you're taking direction from everybody else except for you, feels like this message is especially for you. And King of Swords, this would be that letting you be the leader of your own mind. Totally. Okay. Taking the lead, being the general. Okay. Or in general. Yeah. All right. What else here, please? King of Swords and the challenge for Libra. Ace of Swords. I was just saying this about this sword. So in the standard Rider-Waite Smith tarot, the Ace of Swords is the only sword that is completely vertical. And that's what it represents. It is not impacted by emotion or intuition. It is pure logic. This is the truth. This is the truth. It's a new way of thinking. So right on par here. My recommendation is to challenge yourself to, even if it's something that is completely different than what it is you believe or think, there is not danger in having an open mind. And if anything or anybody is telling you that that is dangerous, they're the bad guy. Heads up, okay? Like a lot of religion, I'm just going to throw that out there. I've very much had my own personal experience with that. I'm not saying you can't have a relationship to God, higher power, any of that. But if you're stuck in a place where somebody else is telling you how to practice that or what to believe in, we're doing it wrong. That's not what we came here to do. And this feels very like we're talking about that. Okay. Whoop. Expansion. Yes. Pursue bigger and greater endeavors. And lovers, a passionate connection, shared vision, and value. Whoever this shadow boxing participant is, it's connected to all of us. But having that lovers come through too, it's like a partner for us all. I don't necessarily know what that means. And I'm not saying I've got this a lot on my other channel too. I do have another channel if you guys want to check that out. Zach in Progress. It's at the top of the page. A lot of people just telling me to find God in Jesus. And last time I checked, that's not an answer to like mental health issues or physical health issues. I'm just saying. But yes, expansion, pursue bigger and greater endeavors. This is the challenge here. When you allow yourself to open your mind, and this doesn't have to be a switch. I'm not saying like throw all your beliefs out the window. That's not what this is about. I'm seeing unzipping. We're unzipping a layer of ourselves. How can we see clearly if we're covered in this plastic that we consider to be protection? Because we were told that's the protection we need to have. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Take this how you guys will. Like I said, it feels very much like Scorpio is going to be an extension of this too. I'm going to pull a Medicine Heart Oracle. You don't want Medicine Heart, okay? Which one? Crow, okay. Crow Oracle here for your final message. For Libra, please. Do you want both? Yes? Okay. Mischief and direction. So pulling all this together, you guys, it feels like there is some misdirection, and there is. If you've ever gotten to a point in this experience where your head is above water in some way, and I'm talking about like having what you need, you know, basic human needs that are met, because we can't really think in higher forms of thought above that until we have those needs met. Shelter, food, water, right? Like there's a reason why that's such a predominating issue in our world, because we don't want people to think for themselves, God forbid, right? So allow yourselves, I challenge you guys to open yourselves up. Allow yourself to just think about something that's different than what you normally think about. Try to maybe understand where the truth is inside of something else, because there is truth in everything. There is not one thing that has all of the truth, or even very much of it. Okay? I love you guys. I hope this message is helpful. I'm going to leave this here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy this reading or it resonated with you. I do have a pause on personal readings right now, but I'll be opening them up again here soon. So feel free to check. I'll post something in the community tab here. So turn your notifications on if you want a notification for that. I do have my mentorship program open too. You can apply for that on my website. Links are in the description of the video as well as pinned comment. PayPal is in there as well. I also accept super thanks for donations. And thank you guys so much to those who do and have donated to the channel. You certainly help all of this run, and I couldn't do this without you. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Be well.